So let me share my screen. Okay. Let's go right here. Share screen. Okay, gang. So you're looking at our website. I'm going to click right here at the top, all-in-one mortgage HELOC. All of you have access to this. I would encourage you to go ahead, if you haven't already, play around in here. If you have questions, let us know. But for now, I'm going to take you through some easy input so that it's important a lot of times, and it's not invasive, right? There's no vials of blood needed here. It's very simple intake, but it's important that you understand what the simulator is asking you, because if you think it's asking something else, obviously you're going to input what is incorrect to what it needs, and then the results aren't going to be valid. So the input's important. I'm going to zip through this. It's being recorded, so you guys can go back and rewatch it if you need to. And then I really want to spend our time on Q&A and then the results, interpreting what it is you're looking at. So I'm just going to make up some stuff here. So first thing here, yes.
As you go through, just to keep in mind, I'm really sorry for interrupting you, but
okay.
use the lowest interest rate that we've seen over the last few years when you go through. I think that's on everybody's mind.
Yep, got it. So we're going to start a new simulation. Okay, if you can save your work, I'll show you this at the end. And if when you do, there's a key code it gives you, you can kind of go back in and play with it. But we're starting a new simulation. Okay, we are going to compare to an existing mortgage, because Larry's right. More often than not, you know, the last couple of years, we've got people that have locked in at 3.5%, 4%, or even sometimes lower on it. I'm going to use an investment property as our example. We could even use an owner occupied if somebody wants to be a guinea pig and do their numbers, that's fine. But people are hesitant, right? Interest rates, when you see in this example simulator that I'm going to run, interest rates right now are higher, right? Why would I want to give up my 3.5% interest rate for an 8.7% interest rate? Why would I do that? Well, the math won't lie. You guys hear me say that over and over and over again. And if you are the right candidate for this, based on the values that we put in here, or you put in here on your own, it's going to be really clear. Okay, we're going to compare to an existing loan. We are going to say it's an investment property. I'm going to say that the value of the property is $500,000. I'm going to say that the current loan balance, actually, you know what? Let me change that. Let's go a little bit lower here. Let's say that the value is $350,000. And let's say that the balance is currently $200,000. I got a 30-year fixed mortgage, and I got it at 3.5%, and I got it 18 months ago. Okay, what the simulator has done is it's taken 200 grand as a current balance today at 3.5% on a 30-year fixed amortized mortgage, knowing that it's 18 months old, this mortgage. This is the principal and interest payment. It'll do the math for you. You don't have to do that. If it's off by a few bucks and you want to do it manually and do it exactly to the penny, you can do that. It'll let you do that. But if it's within a $5, unless you really feel OCD and you got to do it, it's not going to make any difference. I'm going to say I'm not making any extra monthly payments right now. Most people are not, so I'm going to leave that 0. And then finally, if you had a second lien mortgage, which 9.9 times out of 10, nobody's going to put that in there on an investment property because those really are not easy to come by, especially now. That's also nothing. I'm going to go to next. We're almost done here, right? Super simple. The next page is our deposit page. So this is where we're going to put our input for depository income. And guys, I'm going to keep this super simple. The simulator will allow you to do a number of different repeating deposits, because chances are you've got rental income, you've got your W-2, maybe you've got other sources of income that you need to throw in there. I'm going to just lump it into one number, and I'm going to do it monthly. Okay, that's actually, when I do it this way, the frequency, and I just do one number monthly, it's going to make the all-in-one look less attractive. And that's really going to be my goal. I'm going to make the all-in-one look as conservative as possible against my 30-year fixed. So I'm going to say that with all in, my W-2, my rents, everything, I'm bringing in $15,000 a month. Okay, just throwing a number out there. This is monthly. If you really want to get granular and do it for real, you'll have the ability, see the repeating deposits down here. You can do that a number of different times and add in the actual depository income from the different sources that it's coming from. But that's my monthly. Now we also have an opportunity as a one-time deposit. You'll see this is repeating. So one-time deposit, let's say, for example, I had $5,000 sitting in my savings account doing absolutely 0 for me, right? And I'm going to take it from there and I want to put it in here. For right now, I'm going to leave that 0. I'm not going to throw that in here. If somebody wants to remind me, I can come back and do it. But again, I want to keep the all-in-one as conservative as possible. So this is going to be 0. Or let's say that, for example, just as another example, let's say that I know I'm going to get a big tax refund. It'll be the first of my life, but let's just say that that's going to be the case. And it's going to be 10 grand. And I know I'm going to get it on, let's say in 4 months from now. So you can dictate when that goes in, or you're going to get a big commission check in this year in December, right? You're going to forecast for that. You can do all of those things here. We'll leave those as 0. So there's my monthly deposits. There's my annual. There's the repeating. There's the one-time deposits, right? We can do more of those if we wanted to. We're going to go next. This is the last page before we get to our results. So right now, here's what we're looking at. This is my deposits. This is that principal and interest payment of my 30-year fixed that I have here, okay? And the simulator is guessing at 1.5% of the value that I put in on this page. So 350,000 at 1.5% is how they're calculating this taxes and insurance. I find more often than not, this is high, sometimes considerably high. So you may want to manually input what this really is, the taxes and insurance, okay? And then right now, before I put anything in my leftover here, it's assuming that all of this is going back out the door. So let me quantify really quickly. As it exists before I put this final number in here and we go to the results, right now the simulator thinks that this number and this number are staying in the account. They're not going back out the door to your mortgage that you're making your payment to today, right? That's gone. The simulator assumes that those monies are not being used for something else. And because they're not going back out the door the way they have been, it's being left in the account every single month. And that this number, which is the difference between this, and this, is going back out the door. For my purposes, I'm going to say that I'm able to retain 20% of my $15,000 a month. So $3,000 a month is what I have left over after all of my expenses go back out the door. Okay, so let me just repeat what I just said and finalize this last piece. So I'm depositing 15,000 in there every month. This number and this number and this number are what's left in my account after this goes back out to pay all of my living expenses. Okay, you guys with me? Hopefully. All right, we'll open up for questions in a minute. Finally, and I'm going to come back and do this in a minute, this is going to be an important feature here. So remember this, one-time future expenses. This is where the all-in-one, in my opinion, is just the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, let's see what happens here.
So this part of the presentation, Caeli, we're going to go right into the results, correct?
Yes, we're done. That's it. That was all the input that you have to do, and we're going to go right to the results. And the suspense is going to kill us all.